Very good afternoon to one and all. This is Dr. Pranay Duty this side, and today we are going to talk about the topic. We are going to talk about new topic, which is more a focus on the research rather than the academics. So I should give you the idea about this. I think I should give you the idea about this research topic prior to your what we can say the prior to you go into the your PhDs and all. So today's topic is a quite interesting one, and it is one of the advanced what we can say the advanced and hot topic nowadays, that climate and the progress. So first of all, we will see about the what is mean by climate. First of all, we talk about what is mean by climate. So climate is basically a long-term average condition of any area. Climate is a long-term average weather condition of any area. So you have basically a different kind of climate or different kind of weather. Weather is nothing but the long-term average condition of any area, whereas climate is a long-term weather condition of the area. When we are talking about the climate, when we say that this is the climate of that area or this is a something like, when we use the word climate, that infer the uh, the data should be more than 30 years. That infers the data should be more than 30 years. That is your climatic data. That is your climatic data. Whereas when we are talking about the paleoclimate, when we are talking about the paleoclimate, what is the paleoclimate? What does mean the paleoclimate? Paleoclimate means the meaning of paleoclimate is a climate of a past, a climate of a past. So you can ask me about how past is what is the exactly definition of past, or what is the exactly time we call as a past. The past is nothing but the when you have the instrumental record, so you have a rain gauge to the every places is there. There is a rain gauge station every day, every place is there. So rain gauge station are there, and that rain gauge stations are particularly there for to catch the rainfall and all. The rain gauge stations are there to catch the rainfall and all. So this is how you can have the rainfall in all the areas. This is how you can have rainfall in all the areas, and you have a rainfall data in the area from the what we can say the from the 1870 onwards. 1870 and 1850, you have paleoclimatic data. From 1850 and 1870, you have this paleoclimatic data. Prior to this, don't have a historical data for the climate, or we can say the record. Specifically, when we are talking about the climate, we can say we don't have data for rainfall, temperature, and humidity and all. So this is a 3 to 4 parameter we generally talk more. Yes, there is a certain other parameter is also there which we talk about, but this parameter is more important, so we don't have that data. But what data we have from 1870 onwards. So that data, the prior to 1870, the data which we used to gather, the data which we used to calculate it is from the earlier one. The earlier data sets. Which the data set is the what the data that is the earlier one. So what you need for this one, you need two things. You need two things particularly. Which one? These two things. First one is your archive. First one is your archive, and second one is your proxy. So archive and proxy, two fundamental things you needed. Archive and proxies are two fundamental things you needed for what? For reconstructing the climate of any area. For reconstruction of climate of any area, you need a climate archive and climate proxies. A climate archive and climate proxy, there is two things you need for this one. So, what is the archive and what is the proxy? What is the archive and what is the proxy? So, paleoclimatic archives are those which having the information. Paleoclimatic archive are those which having the information about an area. Paleoclimatic archive are those which having the information about the area, and this area, the area is maybe the basin. Area may be the basin. You get a sediment from the source. You get a sediment from the any of the source, and that sediment will reflect the data. And that is that sedimentation or basin is known as the archive. Okay. Now we are going to see what is the proxies and what is mean by your a brief about the paleoclimatology. So the study of past climate. So the study of past climate prior to instrumental record is known as the paleoclimatology. I already explained you that what is the paleoclimatology? The paleoclimatology, the study of past climate prior to the instrumental record. The study of past climate prior to the instrumental record is known as paleoclimatology. So scientists use indirect evidences. The scientists have used indirect evidences during past time period to determine the climate at that time period. Okay, so scientists use to infer the climate of that particular time using so scientists have used the indirect evidences during that time using the climate that period of you say the archive or of the proxy. This climate imprints the referred to as a proxy. So likewise, now we are living in a Earth or living on Earth. So when now we are living on Earth, and we have imparted some imprint. What is that imprint? You may have mining activity. You may have some the volcanic, the industrial revolution. You have farming. All this activity is considered as a imprint of the living scenario, which will reflect to the record, which is reflect in the records. So that's how you can have this records in your climate system. Then why we study the paleoclimatology? Why we study the paleoclimatology? So it may help to understand the past climate. It may help to understand the past climate. The study of past climate gives us the information into future climate scenarios. For example, how you can imagine that there is a summer, winter, and your rainy season? How you can know? Because you have a data of the past climate, the past weather condition of the all the Indian subcontinent. You have data. Depending on this data, you can suggest that yes, there is a climate, climatic changes. Yes, there is a warm period for a 200 to 300 years. Yes, there is a what we can say the um, cold period during this one. So you have a warm period, you have a cold period. You have a warm period, you have a cold period during the this one. So why we study the climate? Why we study the climate? Because the different region is having a different climate. Different region is having a different climate. So the polar region is having a ice cap over this region. Okay. Then you have a Mediterranean region. Then you have a humid subtropical region, marine west coast, and this all. So this is a different kind of region. We have continental, moderate, polar, and the different kind of region we have. So different kind of region, different having a different kind of climate. Different kind of region is having a different kind of climate. So how do scientists study the climate? How do the scientists study the climate? So we have four fundamental things with us. So you have the for the climatic system, you have a satellite images which you can compare, that yes, there is a climate of the any region during the 1970 and what is the climate of the any region during the 2020. This is a two different kind of region you have. Then you have a historical proxy record. Then you have a historical proxy record. So now you can see that this is nothing but a glacial. You can have a glacial advancement and recession phase here. Okay. So this is a moral condition and this place. So you can see that there is a three lines are there. So that three lines represented three demarcation. Three lines are representing three demarcation, like right from the 2001, 2002, 2003, 2001, 2002, and 2003. Each year you have a fluctuation. Each year you have a fluctuation in the climate. So you have a historical proxy record. You have a historical proxy record. Then you have a proxy record that is in the form of tree rings. So what you say have can able to see now is a tree ring. So tree ring is nothing but a depositional phase. A tree ring is nothing but a depositional phase, which is giving us the information. Which is giving us the information. Then you have an instrument record. Then you have an instrument record. This is a CRU, is a climate research unit. Data you have, climate research unit data you have. This is NCDC, this is the difference. So you can able to see that after 1950 and 60, you can have a peak in the climatic data. Then the climate history. Then you have the climate history. The instrument record extend back about the 150 years. The instrument record extend back about the 150 years, that is from 1860. Since that time, Earth temperature has increased by 0. 0.7 degrees Celsius. Since that time, the Earth temperature has increased by 0. 0.7 degrees Celsius. In the past, climate were sometime much colder than the today. At other hand, they were much warmer than today. So you have a cycle of the both colder as well as warmer. We cannot say that we are now talk about greenhouse gases emission and all this one, but it's not like that. This one is started just now before the minutes and all. So you have this greenhouse effect, greenhouse gases effect now, but also the temperature of the earth is not only increased by the greenhouse gases and all the what talk we are going through now. Okay, so it's not like that you are only having this climatic problem and all during this time. So you have this problem. You have this problem from the last few years, last several century decade. So now, what is the proxy? Proxy is nothing but one of the this is one of the uh, uh, a depositional sequence which you have a different kind of things are there. Okay, so you what different kind of information or different kind of things you have with you. You have three rings, you have sediment cores, ice core, coral, then you have a stable isotope, then you have a polar. Okay, so this is a different kind of proxies you have, different kinds of proxy you have. So this is an example of the climatic proxy. This is the example of climatic proxy. So you have a sediment core, you have an ice core, coral reef, tree reef, polar, and all. This is the different kind of archive, and this is different kind of proxies, which we use to this one. Then what is the historical records? So what is the historical records you have? Weather and climate observation can be found. Weather and climate observation can be found in sheet flag, farmer diaries, newspaper accounts, and etc. So the historical record. Okay, so the historical record is such a records which we generally come to know about. This is a history of the, like you have a Mughal Empire, you have a Maratha Empire, and also this is a history which written well. It is nothing but the history which has been written well. That's why you come to know about some of the things historical which you cannot seen by your naked eyes. But yes, this one is written as a diary, as a book, or something else, whatever it is. So in case of the this war and all, you have some books of and all. But when we are talking about climate that contain the weather and climate that is contain the temperature and pressure, temperature, precipitation, and all. So that time you have what we can say the that time you can have a sheep. Sorry, the diaries of the farmer. That time you have diaries of the farmer in the form of newspaper and all. So so the sediment core can be taken from the lakes. Sediment core can be taken from the lakes, the shallow ocean or the deep ocean. So that sediment core can be useful. That sediment cores can be used for the deep ocean and all. In some cases, the thickness of this layer can be used to infer a past climate. In some cases, the thickness of this layer can be used to infer a past climate. In other cases, these layers are composed of organic material that can be analyzed for other climatic problems. Okay, so sediment core is the best to use for the proxy reconstruction. A sediment core is best to use for the proxy reconstruction. In some of the cases, the thickness of this layer can be used to the past climate, or you can also say have the color and all this one. Okay, sediment cores can be taken from the lakes, the shallow ocean or the deep ocean. In some cases, the thickness of these layers can be used to infer the past climate. In other cases, these layers are the composed of organic material that we analyze for other climatic proxies. Now you have a different proxies. Now you have different proxies. You have a pollen. You have a pollen grains. Pollen grains are well preserved in a lakes and ocean sediment. Pollen grains are well preserved in a lakes and ocean sediment. The analysis of each of these sediment, layers provide the information on the vegetation present at that time. Scientists can infer a past climate. Scientists can infer a past climate based on the distribution and changes in the plant species. So you have a three different things: pollen grains, which are preserved in a lake or ocean sediment. The analysis of each of these sediment layer provides information on the vegetation present at that time. Scientists can infer the past climate based on the distribution and changes in a plant species. Then you have a stable isotope. The most common element used in the climate study is the oxygen. The most common element which is used in the climate study is the oxygen. The isotope of oxygen are oxygen, that is 18, that is a very rare. Then you have oxygen 70, O17 and O16, very common. So the ratio, we use mostly a ratio of the two elements, that is a 18 by 16. So whatever the ratio is defining, that ratio is depending upon the climate of that region. Ratio is depending upon the climate of this region. Then you have a coral reef. The coral reef, what is the coral reef? Coral reefs are composed of calcium carbonate. This carbonate contains the isotope of the oxygen. Contain the oxygen isotope, or oxygen, what we can say, the coral composed of calcium carbonate, which is contained isotope of oxygen, that can be used to determine the water temperature when and where the coral grow. Then you have ice cores. As snow and ice accumulate in a polar glacier, a paleoclimate record accumulate of the environmental condition. A paleoclimatic record accumulate of the environmental condition of the time of the formation. Ice core can be analyzed. Using the stable isotope approaches for water or air bubbles within the ice as a record of past atmosphere gas. Or so this, whatever you can able to see these graphs, whatever the graphs you can able to see now, these all graphs are just showing the different peaks. Showing the different peaks. So all these graphs is nothing but the showing the climatic changes. All these graphs showing the climatic changes. Then you have a tree ring. The tree ring growth is influenced by climate. This pattern can be seen in tree ring width and isotopic composition. So tree ring growth is influenced by climate. This pattern can be seen in tree ring width and isotopic composition. Trees are generally produce one ring each year. So whatever the layers they are composing, they are from making from the different layers. Okay, so you have what you have? You have a tree ring layers, a different kind of layers of tree ring, and this different kind of tree rings can be useful. For the composition and what kind of climate is there in that particular time. So tree record can extend back to the last 1,000 years. So it's not like that you have only the trees will be survive for the 100 years and all. You can have the tree ring which extend the record up to the 1,000 years. You have a tree ring that is extend the record of this one up to the 1,000. So this is how you can have a tree ring scenario. So the what is the conclusion of this all? all this is example used individually or together can help to piece together the past climate of the particular time period or region. So, so whatever the climate you have, whatever the climate you have, so this climate should be, so this climate, it should be, we can have the idea about the climate. Okay, you can have the idea about the climate, how the climate is changed, and how the differently it behave in a different condition. So right now we are living in the Holocene period. Right now we are living in the Holocene period. So Holocene climate is changes too much, and we also why we are saying this is changes too much, because we have data for this one. For the more older data, we don't have the more older data, but yes, we have data for the we have data for the your this what we can say this 10,000 years something like that. So this data is very much useful. So you have a climate of the you have a climate of the what we can say the Holocene. So Holocene nothing but the Holocene is nothing but the period of the latest one. Okay, and there is a interval between 9,000 to 5,000 years. The interval between the 9,000 and 5,000 years, the world or the Earth is experiencing the maximum Holocene climate optima. Holocene climate optima, that is the that is recorded or that is experienced by the this climatic this Holocene this Earth. It has also been known that it has been also been known that um, what we can say the warm period was followed by the gradual decline until the about the 2 million years. Okay, so you have some of the different zone, that is we can say the polar zone and all this zone. So now you have this picture which suggests the what kind of climatic changes you have. So this is a Holocene temperature variation basically. This is nothing but the Holocene temperature variation. How the temperature has changed during this time. How the temperature has been changed during this time. So you have a proxy report. So when you have a high resolution proxy report, when you have a high resolution proxy report, what happened there? You can have the different climate. Different proxy suggested the different climate. Different proxy suggested the different climate. So when you see this image, when you see this image, there is a temperature anomaly. There is a temperature anomaly, which is end of the last after the end of the last glacier. So glacier is obviously you have a glacier, and which is the temperature is somewhere temperature anomaly somewhere less than zero. After the temperature anomaly that is less than zero, you have a temperature which is of increased, which is increased together. Okay, which is increased. So this all the kind of theory which we suggested here, all kind of theory which we suggested here is a based on whatever the we are talking now, whatever we are talking now, that is only on the base of the a proxy report we have. So we have a magnetic proxy, we have what we have grain size proxy, we have coral reef, we have geochemical data, lake sediment, and all. These all are the proxy which given us the data. So you can see that this data is up to 12,000 years. The data is up to 12,000 years, and if there is uh, 12,000 year data, if you have 10 to 12,000 year data, which can be useful for the purpose of this one. Okay. So the Holocene, this is the graph which is suggested the Holocene temperature variation. The graph and this all is suggested the Holocene temperature variation, and the variation is nothing but a variation is nothing but what we can say the variation in the climate or data. The variation in the data. So you have a data variation which is reflected and which is you can have say that which is coming from the data. It is coming from the data. So this is the end of the glacier period. After the ending of the glacier period, around 10,000, and this all you can see that there is a hike in the temperature. There is a hike in the temperature. So this hike is get what we can say the this hike of the temperature get into consideration, and you can have this data for the all the from the like you have data from 150 million years present, where you have many cycles of the colder climate and the warmer climate. Okay, you have a data of colder climate as well as the warmer climate. Different kind of data you have, different kind of data you have, and different kind of data giving the different inferences. So this is how the value. So what is the use of this data? What is the use of this data? So this data is very much useful for the future projection. This data is very much useful for the future projection. So you have a Holocene temperature variation. You have a Holocene temperature variation, and the thousand of year before the present, that is a 246 is the number. 246 is the number, and this all are the uh, uh, this all are the in a 1,000 year records. Okay, this all are the in a 1,000 year records. So whatever the data you have, whatever the data you have, is all the data is all the data is now used to predict the future climate. So you have a trend, and that trend you have to calculate from this trend that how the data is going to the variation, how this data is going to the variation from high to low, low to high. Okay, so this is how we are calculated the different kind of statistic and all this from the data which available to us, the data which is available to us, and whatever the what the PPT we are just seeing, that is also giving is the different proxy. Okay, that is the given as the different proxy, like sediment core given you the data. Sediment core is given you the data. What data? They are that are the paleoclimatic data. They are the paleoclimatic data. Okay. Then you have a colon. Okay. Then you have a colon. Then you have a stable isotope. Then you have a stable isotope data. The most common element used in the climate, that is a stable isotope. Then you have a coral reef. Then you have a coral reef. Corals are the composed of calcium carbonate. Corals are composed of the calcium carbonate. This carbonate contains the isotope of oxygen that can be used to determine the water temperature. Then where the coral blooms. Then you have ice core. Then you have ice core. So snow and ice accumulate in the polar glacier, and the climate record the accumulation of the this environmental condition of the time of the this one. So maybe you have this ice core and all. Maybe you have this ice core and have. So you can what we can say though, you can uh, calculate. You can calculate this ice core record. You can calculate this ice core record, and after the calculation of this ice core and all, you can predict. You can use this data for the prediction of the future scenario. Prediction of the future scenario. So this is how your paleoclimatology is all about. That paleoclimatology is nothing but a study of climate of the past using the different archive and different progress. Okay. So when we are talking about this archive and progress, so IPCC, Intergovernment Panel on Climate Change, is continuously working on this climatic factor, climatic role, whether the global warming and all this talk or what's going on is control strived by the IPCC, because they are the main body which is looking on this matter. They are the main body which is looking in this matter. So this is how you can have the ice core. This is how you can have the ice core, tree ring, and coral reefs and all this one as a proxy. As a proxy. So snow and this all are we used. Okay. So ice core is because of the ice core is not disturbed by the human. So anthropogenic impact over the ice core is very much less. That's why ice core is considered one of the greatest proxy and proxy, a good proxy for the reconstruction of this one. Okay. So you have a tree ring. You have a tree ring which is influenced by the climate. So when you what is the how the tree ring you are calculated and what is the width and all this one is going to we are going to calculate this one from the this tree ring. Okay. So this is how we study this all the tree rings and all. This is how we study the tree rings and all. So the three all this example use individually or together, which can help to piece together the past climate of the particular time period or region. So at the last at all, what is our main focus? What is our main focus? Our main focus is to have a climate data, past climate data, and interpret that data for the future scenario. Okay, interpret those data for the future scenario. So that's what the paleoclimatologists do. Climatologists do. They consider all the scenario of the eye. So if you don't study the paleoclimate, how you can infer that yes, there is a INSO event, if there is a IOD event and all. This all the events and all we are just come to know from the this climatic study. When we study the climate of the past, when we study the climate of the past, then and then we come to know about this all the climatic study and all what about the different kind of uh, event, that is the Indian Ocean dipole, El Nino Southern Oscillation. So these all different kind of things which we come to know till date is because of the past climatic study done by the several scientists, several this what we can say the several scientists and worker, paleoclimatic worker, which continuously working in this aspect for the paleoclimatic study and paleoclimatic report. So this is all from this today's lecture. Hope you understand about why we are studying the paleoclimatology, what is the different kind of weather, what is different between weather and climate and all. So hope you understand and enjoy this lecture. You have a 10 MCQ question at your LMS. You can go and see that LMS question so that you can able to understand the different. Thank you all for listening this lecture. I hope you understand. Thank you.